Hello, friends, and welcome to Escaping the Mouse with your host, me, Breck Roll. All right, I've been teasing you for about a week now about a series of videos that I'm going to do that kind of were a suggestion of Jordan to help me kind of grow my channel a little bit. And so I've been spending a lot of time over the last few days researching this because I really want to make sure I have all my ducks in a row before I attempt to cover the subject. At this point, it looks like I'm going to probably shoot it probably sometime next week. And I think it's probably going to end up being a series of about 3 consecutive videos to thoroughly cover the subject. I think it's going to be a very interesting subject, and I hope you'll enjoy watching it and maybe learn a few things from it too. It's also going to be probably the first thing that I've ever done that could be considered a travel vlog, because I'm actually going to leave the city of Waco to do that. Don't want to give you too many hints on that, but I've been doing some research today, but decided I probably needed to go out and do something for a video, because I can only get away with, sitting in the chair videos so many days in a row before people start saying, yeah, I'm getting bored with this. So today I was kind of looking around town for something interesting to look at, and I came across something called the Cottonland Castle. It's in downtown Waco. There's a really interesting story to this, and I think we're just going to go take a look at it. So let's go visit the Cottonland Castle. Now, the truth is, I've driven by this car place literally dozens of times in my travels around Waco, and I've always been a little bit curious about this place because it doesn't really seem to fit anything else in the area. Little did I know that this isn't the car dealership that did this. Apparently, they're leasing the lower level of the building, but that spire and the castle behind it is actually a private residence called the Cottonland Castle. Let's go take a look at it. Now, the truth is, there's some really beautiful houses back here. This is actually a really nice part of town. This one's actually for sale. I just looked it up online. They're asking $1.1 million for it. 5-bedroom, 4-bath. Very nice place. Now, it turns out the whole story of this place can be summarized with the following. It's a bunch of people that bought this place, found out that they bit off more than they could chew, and ended up having to sell it. The story begins near the turn of the 20th century, when Waco had a booming cotton industry. In 1890, a local stone contractor, John Tennant, decided to build himself a new home after striking a deal with banker W.M. Mann. The deal provided Tennant with a plot of land in exchange for a stone obelisk to mark the Mann plot at Oakwood Cemetery. Tennant took leftover stone from his latest construction job, the Provident Building, at the corner of 4th and Franklin, in order to begin construction on the basement and foundation of his new home, situated at the outskirts of the city. The reality of Tennant's financial situation didn't quite match up with his grandiose dreams. After struggling to make ends meet, he sold the unframed house to a cotton broker, Ripley Hanrick, in 1906, under the agreement that Tennant could continue to do the stonework on the house. However, when financial difficulties continued, the pair abandoned the house in 1908. A few years later, local investors employed Roy E. Lane to construct the elite Waco Club in the same area as the castle. Some expressed concern over the abandoned and unfinished home, but Lane saw the building as a blank slate of potential. He convinced notable Wacoan and Civil War veteran Alfred E. Abel to purchase the home in 1913. Abel employed Lane to complete the frame. Lane transformed the frame into a castle complete with 3 stories and a basement, 8 fireplaces, servants' quarters, and a tower modeled after a small German castle along the Rhine River, while sandstone and small amounts of limestone composed the exterior of the house. The interior accents varied by room and floor, including imported materials such as cane stone from France, Carrara marble from Italy, and Honduran mahogany paneling. In 1941, Irene Pipkin, whose family owned the Pipkin Drug Stores, purchased a home and moved in with her daughter and son-in-law. When she passed away, the castle passed to her daughter Pauline Pipkin Garrett, Waco's first pharmacist. Pauline and her husband Barney Garrett, resided in the home for many years. After Pauline passed away, her will stated that Garrett could retain the house until he no longer wished to reside in it. When Garrett decided to move out, the home entered its only period of public use when it was passed to the Austin Avenue Methodist Church. The church found the home to be an ideal place to host youth events, but the expense of keeping up the home soon became too great. The church sold the home to Jack Swan in 1969 for $50,000. The Schwann family fixed many of the issues in the home arising from age and disuse, and also renovated the second floor following a tropical fantasy theme. In 1977, the Schwanns applied for and received a historical marker for the house. The family attempted to sell the castle in 1982, believing it worth close to $1.25 million after the renovations. However, the high price frightened away many interested buyers. The Schwann family finally found a buyer in 1991 after cutting the price of the castle drastically. Over the next 2 decades, the house passed through various owners' hands and fell into disrepair. Many owners found the castle too large and in need of too much maintenance to be financially feasible home. In 2014, the home again sold to a new group led by Oxford scholar Dick Orbink, contractor Tom Lupfner Jr., and architect Sterling Johnson has begun the process of renovating the castle. In 2019, the Cottonwood Castle was purchased by Chip and Joanna Gaines of the famous retail empire Magnolia Market. They have promised to finish renovating the home and give it the attention it deserves. The castle will always be a striking hallmark of the Castle Heights neighborhood, and the impressive home continues to stand as a quiet reminder of the importance of the cotton industry, which once brought prosperity to Waco. Okay, here's the historical marker we mentioned earlier, the Cottonwood Castle. Stone contractor John Tennant began this house in 1890 when Waco's cotton-based economy flourished. In 1906, Tennant sold the structure to Ripley Hanrick, a cotton broker, but it remained unfinished. With plans drawn by architect Roy Lane, the castle was eventually completed in 1913 as a residence for businessman Alfred Abele. Limestone detailing decorates the sandstone edifice. Fine materials such as marble, mahogany embellish the interior, and the house later became a focal point for the Castle Heights area. Like I said, I didn't just want to summarize it with the marker here because a lot has gone on since the marker was placed in 1977. So let's just kind of wander around the property a little bit and see what we can see. First off, I'm assuming that this is the servants' quarters that were mentioned in the little history of the building that I read. But check out this place. This place is amazing. A lot of worn out though. I mean, look, that front window on the lower level there is just covered up with plywood. So obviously they got to do that. They very definitely need to pressure wash the building because it's soiled with age. But holy cow, check out that place. Imagine the view you have up in there. And see, that's that tower we saw from the street out there a little bit ago over by that car factory. And so that's, it's hard to say if that's part of the property of this or part of the property of the car dealership, but you'd think it must be part of this property because, you know, the stone on the tower looks very much like the stone on the building here. Now, unfortunately, we're not going to be able to go into the property because, well, just because, right? That doesn't mean we can't wander around it, though, right? Another thing I love about these old houses is these big old maple and oak trees that are on the property. Nice covered entrance where you can pull your car up and not have to get out in the rain if that's what's happening. It's really beautiful kind of from all angles here. You see that if it's half as nice inside as it is outside, this place is pretty spectacular. Yeah, see, I'm guessing that this property here in the back is part of the castle, because why would there be a garage on the castle side when we have the car dealership over the fence here? But I'm guessing what they're doing is they're loaning or renting the building to the car dealership, and then the rest of the stuff up top still remains part of the castle. I was really kind of hoping I'd come down here and Chip would be down here working on this place and maybe I could go in and take a look, but not today, I guess. So while I'm here filming this, there's a group of people that have driven up and they're actually taking pictures of this place. So apparently this is quite the tourist attraction around here. I can imagine what it'll look like when they get it finished. I really love some of these big lamps and features they have here. But you can see what they mean by this is a big problem here. Look, they got this whole fence thing here is settling. It's probably going to have to be replaced. A lot of rust on this front gate too. But you know, if there's anyone that has the experience and the money to take care of a place like this, you know it's going to be Chip and Joanna Gaines. So I'll have to keep an eye on this place. I bet you it'll look nice when they're done with it. Oh, it's funny, I didn't notice this before, but it looks like there's a swimming pool back there. Wouldn't have thought that would have been such a big thing in the cotton days, but I'm guessing that was added later. Yeah, this is a place I could live in and feel comfortable. Nice big plot of land. Bring my parents here, they could live in there. And just a really beautiful neighborhood. Like I said, all these houses around here are, you know, $1 million plus houses. Very nice. And right on the front corner of the property here, there's just this kind of nice little sitting area here. Probably be great for, you know, socializing with friends on warm Waco evenings when the mosquitoes aren't out too much. Very beautiful here, but it needs a lot of work. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed visiting the Cottonland house here in Waco. This is a beautiful place and I'm glad I got a chance to see it. So I think that is all that I have for today. Thank you as always for watching, and I will see you next time on Escaping the Mouse. Good night.